Hey everyone, I'm your average guide Sahil Gogna. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to discuss the MSCDA program, which is related to the data sciences and data analytics, which is offered at St. Mary University in Halifax. And to explain us everything, I have invited my friend Manjot, and today we are going to talk about his academic experience as well as his co-op experience. So this video is going to be really great because we have discussed a lot about the industry as well. So without any delay, let's get started. Hi Manjot, first of all, thanks a lot for joining the call today.
Yeah, you're welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So Manjot, today we are going to discuss about your program, which is Data Analytics Masters in St. Mary University. But before I ask you any questions about your program, can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Okay. So hi, this is Manjot. I did my bachelor's from Thapa University. Got graduated in computer science in 2019. And as my final semester at Thapa University, I did internship at ST Microelectronics as a data analyst. And right after that, I joined HSBC as a Java software developer, mainly working on Spring Boot and those applications for 2 years. And at the time, I started to gain interest in data sciences as well. So I wanted to speed up my learning process. So I focused on joining a master's course. That's how I ended up being over here in Halifax, doing masters in computing and data analysis right now.
Okay, and if we talk about your master's program, so while you were deciding that you want to pursue your master's in Canada, which other universities did you consider?
That's an interesting question. I researched so many universities. I sorted them on the basis of my financial status, my aspirations, and as I mentioned, my interest was in data sciences mainly. So I wanted a course that focuses on data science aspect of it. But since I already had computer science background, I was also looking at courses which offered me some sort of upskilling in computer science background as well. Okay. Now that being said, I applied in Simon Fraser University in a big data course, which was my top priority, but that's okay. And then I applied in University of Alberta in Masters in Computer Sciences. And other than that, I applied at Trent University and St. Mary's University. Both of them had similar courses, which were Masters in Computing and Data Analysis. So if you look at that section, Masters in Computing and Data Analysis kind of fits me the best. But if I just want to focus on data science aspect, then Simon Fraser University is pretty good. But I ended up getting offers from Trent University as well as St. Mary's University. And I feel like this course had more of an industrial solid background because they offered a lot of experience from industrial standpoint. So I chose this course.
Okay.
Yeah.
And talking about this program, when you applied, so what were the admission requirements? Maybe you can share us some overview of your profile, like what was your CGPA, how many years of experience you had, so that because students they'll get a benchmark to compare that how much chances they have to get an offer from this university. And if there was some particular process or some special process, can you please walk us through all the details of the process?
Okay, so few things which are in general wherever you apply you need to have this. For example, your IELTS cutoff. You need to have IELTS cutoff score. I had 8 overall score with like almost more than 7.5 in each and every section. So I already was clear for all the universities. And other than that, you need to have an SOP, which was I targeted SOP for all those 4 universities differently. So I wrote like 4 versions of these SOPs. And then after that, you need to have an up-to-date CV, which is very important because they are going to look at that and they're going to use that in interview process, which I'm going to talk about after this. And other than that, you need to have like, I think for this course, I'm not pretty sure. You can go to website and check what is the CG cutoff. Maybe it's 7. My CG is 8.23 from Thapa University. So I already was clear in all those courses in that cutoff. And other than that, the special thing about this course is that their process is a little bit different than other universities. What they do is they ask for, after they shortlist you on the basis of your profile, they ask you to give, as a part of the admission process, you have to submit an assessment. So there's an assessment with 3 or 4 questions, which are coding questions. Mainly like you have to print certain pattern, or some of the questions might focus on your object-oriented programming skills. Do you know what are collections, for example, in Java? So these assignments are basically, you can submit it, they will give you a feedback and then you can correct it and then submit it again. So there's no like that much hard thing to do it. After that, once you are clear in that assessment, and they will mail you that you have cleared the assessment, they'll give you slots for interview. So whatever slot fits you, you go out there and give the interview, which is technical interview, and in my opinion it's a very easy interview. So what you gotta do is whatever language you are comfortable in. Mainly they focus on Java. So if you are Java, you have Java background, then that's great. I had Java background, so the questions were basically related to data structures, for loop, like very basic things about object-oriented programming as well as coding. So if you have a hold on any one of these languages, you won't have any issue with the questions during the interview. And you do need to know SQL as well as normalizations and all that stuff related to databases, because even if you know the basis, you will be able to answer the questions, but you need to know that. So I feel like coding side, it's pretty easy. For SQL and normalization, you need to read a little bit about it, and then it's a normal conversation with the interviewer. So I won't say it was a tough interview. So if you are really interested and you have studied it, at least given an overview of all these topics, then you will clear that.
Okay. And one part of admission process is that you have also to get some references from your professors, as well as if you have industry experience from your managers, right? So how many letter of recommendations would you tell students to get them? Like how many are good?
Yeah, I missed that point about letter of reference. It's very important for a lot of organizations. Usually what I did was, what the students do is, they normally get LORs from their teachers, which is, I feel like, it's important stuff. If you have cleared the SOP section and you are like competing with other students with the similar SOPs, then they look at your letter of references to sort who is better candidate or not. For me, what I did was I got one letter of reference from my industrial mentor and two from my professors. So when universities ask for references from industrial mentor, which would be, there are few universities who ask for it, like they give you an option, like we would prefer if you give academic letter of references, but if you can give industrial reference, then that's great. I had 3 references. I contacted with 3 of these people, one industrial mentor and 2 teachers that I talked about. And wherever there were like 3 total references, I would give these. If there were 2, I would say go with the academic references.
Oh, okay. And if we talk about this program, which is in data analytics, so what are all the subjects that you get to study, and how are they taught? What is your experience? So basically, I want to know your experience with the program till now.
Okay, so I'm gonna start off with what the structure of this course is. It's a 16 months program with 8 months of studies and 8 months of co-op in roughly. So the point is, there are 2 semesters, which are, you may call as study semesters, in which there are 4 subjects in each semester, and the rest of those 2 4-month semesters are basically co-ops. So either you can have 2 4-month co-op or 1 8-month co-op. Okay, and for study subjects, I would say the first semester mainly focuses on basic stuff, which is related to maybe UI UX, statistics, databases, software development. And the second semester is very much focused towards data sciences, data mining, business intelligence, machine learning stuff, and also a little bit of web development, mobile app development. So I would say the second semester is more of data sciences, first semester is in general. So that's that.
Oh, okay. And if we talk about the best thing about university, since you have already mentioned that you get 8 months of study period and 8 months of co-op period. So while we were earlier discussing, you also mentioned, like in our personal chat, you also mentioned that university helps you a lot to apply for the internships and co-ops, and they have a lot of contact in the industry. So can you please tell us about this part of your experience, about the co-op part?
Yeah. So the most interesting part about these courses is co-op, because at the end of the day, you want to get a job, and industrial experience really helps you get that oomph, if you know what I mean. So the point is, co-op is what a lot of students are targeting as, and this course allows you to get 8 months of co-op. So the point is, very intriguing thing. My experience has been pretty good with it. The point is, this university really helps you get those opportunities. So they might bring funded projects, even non-funded projects, depending on you are interested in research or not. You might get industrial opportunities, industrial co-op opportunities, maybe 4-month internships or 8-month internships. So they will bring those openings to you, and if you apply through the university, you have higher chance of getting shortlisted, because all those organizations that connect with university, they are focusing on graduates, and they are focusing on getting graduates from that particular university. So you will have an edge. So keep an eye on that. This organization, this company will bring you the opportunities starting from day 1. The day 1 you start studying over here, you will start getting these opportunities. It's up to you how you apply. You can apply yourself as well. Rather, I appreciate that. Rather than waiting for this course to bring you opportunities, there are multiple opportunities out there. Go out there, apply in this companies, wherever you are interested in. There are so many roles. This country has so many opportunities, and now being this era being a virtual era, you can sit in Halifax while you are working in Vancouver, because you have to work remotely, and the interviews are remote, so you don't have to worry about applying in other provinces. You can apply in co-op in some other province at a particular organization. You have to interview over here, and then you can start working once that co-op thing gets approved. There's one catch into it. You cannot start working as a co-op student until and unless you get the co-op visa. So right when you come over here, get that co-op letter from the university and apply in co-op program. I know different companies, universities work differently, but this university will help you get that co-op right away so that you can apply it and get the co-op visa. And as soon as you get the co-op visa, you can start working as a co-op student.
Okay, and you also mentioned something about the funded projects. And earlier, when we had a personal conversation, you told told me about the organization that has tied with the university. So can you please tell the audience about that also?
So basically, what I was talking about was MyTex program. There's a MyTex program over here where you need an university representative to refer you to one of these funded projects, or these projects which might not be about research only. They could be about research. They could be about some startups that want some sort of work done. So they will have these smaller projects, and this MyTex program basically helps you get those opportunities. So usually we get these openings through our representative, which is our director. He will share the opportunities with us, like this is a MyTex opportunity where you can work like X amount of hours depending on what the project is, and you might get at max $10,000 of funding over here in that particular course. That could also be counted towards your co-op depending on how big of that project is. So these opportunities are pretty good, so you can get these funded project opportunities. And apart from this MyTex program, you can also get funded project opportunities if you are in connection with professors who are in the university, because all the universities are around over here. You can work under a professor and they might have a funded project. So you can work under that professor and do that particular project. So that can also count towards your co-op. But I would say the opportunity wise, it's pretty good if you want to start early, because when you are coming over here, you will get a lot of MyTex opportunities. You might not be able to get these company co-ops because they might come a little bit late. Basically, I'm talking about summer co-ops. So if you want to start early, then you might have these programs available, which this university is going to help you with.
And Manjot, you mentioned about the co-op program. So I have a lot of questions to ask, because students generally ask me about like what's the best time to apply for the co-op. And in your program, so can the students, they right away apply for the co-op program, or they have to wait for a certain term, or not even if in your program, in general, if you would suggest to students what is the right time to look for a co-op?
Okay, so the point is different courses start their co-op programs at different times. If you're focusing on summer co-ops, which is basically for this course, for example, you can start your co-op from May or April, and you might have 8-month co-op till December, or maybe a 4-month co-op. The point is you have to apply at least 4 months prior to that, I would say. But it depends totally on organization. Some organizations opens up opportunities very late, while others, like bigger organizations like Amazon and whatnot, they open up opportunities well before time. So you might have to start, for example, if you want to apply for summer co-ops in like Amazon or some place, you might have to start applying like when you are in September or October. The point is you have to be ready when you come over here for September cohort. Be prepared, be well prepared with the interview, so that you are confident enough that I can apply right away coming over here. But the normal timeline is between December and January. That's when a lot of students start applying for these summer co-ops for this course as well. And one point I want to mention, since you asked how early you can start working as a co-op student. So if you are able to bag an opportunity well before time, for example, even if you are supposed to get a summer co-op, but you are able to bag an opportunity starting January, and you have a co-op work permit with you, then you can start working. This course will allow you to do that. This is mentioned on their website too. So if you are able to bag that opportunity, you will be given privilege to drop a few of these courses depending on your co-op. So they might drop a couple of your courses or a couple of your subjects, I would say, from your course. In place of that, you can do co-op. It might get hectic because you have to do co-op as well as a couple of subjects over here. But you do have an opportunity to start working early. So it depends on how early you apply. So be very proactive
and start applying right away. There's no problem with getting rejected. Rather, I would say go out there and get rejections, because that is going to help you know what are the things you need to improve upon, and you will be well prepared with the interviews. Don't expect that I'm going to go out there and get selected in the first interview right away. So it's okay getting rejected, but start applying right away. Be proactive.
Okay. And the thing that you mentioned, it's about this university, right? So you said that we can apply as soon as possible, and then you can get those credits adjusted for the programs.
Yeah.
And I think this one you talked about just St. Mary University, right?
Yeah.
So this is not in general, so this one was specific to this program.
That's the reason why I said this course is special, because from industrial experience standpoint, this course helps you a lot. This course is for people who want to start working early or who want to start working right away. This course is flexible. So that's the best thing about this course. A lot of universities do not offer that opportunity. So you might have to wait till last semester to start applying for co-ops and maybe get the co-op for that particular time period. And once you do that, I've already also seen that some of these co-op programs expect you to come back after your co-op term is ended, and they expect you to have one more term of study with there. So a lot of things might get complicated over there, but this university might help you get that. So my answer was specific to this program. It definitely will differ from university to university.
Okay, and I have made 2 points that I would like to add to whatever you have said. So
Yeah.
the first thing is that you told audience to apply from December in case they're looking for some internship.
Yeah.
So December month is generally very slow. In case you are applying for the opportunities, you might not get a response for the whole month, because most of the HR department or most of the employees, they're on the vacation for that month, because that's the peak time of vacations here in Canada, right?
Yeah.
So if you are not getting any responses, don't lose your heart. You might be getting the responses back in January. And second thing is that there's a difference between internship and co-op. So let's say if you are approaching a company or a startup on your behalf, not through the university but directly, then use these terms very wisely, because there is a lot of difference between these two terms. And St. Mary's University program is the co-op program, but some universities might have internship programs. So if you want the details about what exactly is the difference, I have already made a different video about this, so make sure to go and check out that. And Manjot, coming back to your experience, so what were the major challenges that you faced when you were applying for the program, for the internship or
co-op programs? Yeah, that's okay. The point is, definitely it gets challenging, especially when you're not prepared. I was already prepared for it. That means I had my mindset that I have to be very proactive and start applying right away. But it will get hectic, because you will have your study term going on. So you have to do your assignments, your projects, attend the classes. At the same time, you have to apply, and not only apply through the opportunities you get through universities, you have to apply on your own end. So you might have to join these networking events, go out there, join these networking events, connect with people, connect with recruiters, and join these companies, these promotional events where they promote their co-op or internship programs like Amazon does. That's why I said December is a good month to start, because in December most of these companies have these events going on. So if you miss that, that's going to be, I wouldn't say it will affect your chances of getting a co-op. But if you join these events, you might get an edge over there, because you will know.
Networking chance.
Yeah, you will connect with recruiters. You will know what their process is, what they are targeting at. So you might frame your resume or cover letter accordingly. The challenges that I got was this thing only, balancing my academics as well as applying over there. And once you are applying, you see, for me, I have strong will, so I don't get that much affected when I get rejected, but a lot of people do. So that rejections might really slow you down, both academically as well as applying at different places. So be ready with that. And once you get rejected, it's all good, but you have to start preparing on what are the things that you didn't do correctly. So basically, it's not about only doing your academics, applying at companies, giving interviews, as well as preparing for interviews meanwhile, because you have to improve yourself, right? So it gets very hectic. So that's the biggest issue with this. Not issue, I would say. This is what every student goes through. So don't lose your hope, but be prepared for that. Look forward to it. Once you get through it, once you get a co-op, you will feel good that you have put in good amounts of effort.
That's true. And the events that you talked about, what was the resource for them? You just applied through LinkedIn?
I would say I did apply through university. They gave me opportunities. I applied through universities. I applied through LinkedIn as well. I applied through these networking events too. I connected with recruiters. I applied through recruiters. But I would say the best thing is, other than applying through university, because a lot of opportunities might not be coming through university. Like they might be available out there and you have to apply on your own. The best thing is connect with people, try to get referrals. If you apply without a referral, forget about getting shortlisted. I would say it's really hard to get shortlisted. Referrals are extremely important. So do get referrals and be prepared with cover letter. Cover letter is very useful. I wouldn't say companies ask for cover letters. There are very few organizations that might ask, for example, CRA. But if you have an option on the website that you can upload multiple documents, or you can upload cover letter if required, then I would say go out there and upload that, because it's going to get you an edge, because you're going to tell them why I want to join this organization and why I fit into this role. So be prepared with the cover letter too. And one thing I didn't mention is that I didn't have one resume. I had multiple resumes. For example, if I'm applying for data science role, I will have different resume because I want them to focus on some particular skill set. If I'm applying from Java profile, I don't want to waste my time writing about stuff on the Python projects that I worked on. Maybe it's useful, but more important thing is I focus on Java. So you need to have these various versions of resume, and not only different versions depending on profile, but also version on the length of resume. So you might require a 3-page resume, 2-page resume, as well as 1-page resume. So don't be lazy on that thing. Be prepared for that. And even this university helps you make these resumes. There's department where you can go out there and get your resume reviewed. They will help you improve that resume, and that's how I got my resume reviewed and improved. Okay. So yeah.
Okay. So I have talked to a lot of students across Canada in different universities. Yeah. And the way you have explained the things about the university, I think St. Mary University has got one of the best core programs. That's what I feel, because I have uploaded over 70 videos on this channel. I have talked more than hundreds of students here in Canada, and I feel that this program is really good considering its core program. Yeah. And one more thing, if we talk about your experience when you were applying for the tech interviews, yeah, how difficult can the interviews be? And as a student, what can we expect? How many number of rounds and everything?
Okay, so interviews is very important thing. It's holy grail, because that's that's going to help you get the job, right? So first of all, be confident, and they are going to look at your personality first. So if you don't have the right personality, if you're applying for a role that you're not interested in, you will be going out there half-hearted, and that's not going to help you get the job.
From your words,
yeah. So if you are going for a data science role and you're not interested in data sciences, you're not interested in data, so you won't be able to explain it with that oomph. So they will catch that. And even if you're able to answer those technical questions, you still won't be able to crack that interview, and you will not understand. You'll feel like, hey, I went out there, answered all those questions, but I didn't get the role. That's because you were not really interested in that. You have to show your passion. You have to show your soft skills, your communication skills. So if you're talking slow, if you're not trying to express yourself very well, like, this is not going to look good. But if you are loud, I'm not saying loud, if you're confident and you're going to put yourself out there and try to tell them what I know, and try to show them that they need to be confident in you, saying that this person can come and join this role. So your soft skills are very important in this place. So I would say the technical rounds might not be that technical, but you need to have really good soft skills. The best part about this technical thing is they are mainly centered around your resume. So you don't need to worry about like them asking questions way out of box, right? So they will start off with the resume. So you need to be very thorough with your resume. Whatever projects you have mentioned on it, you need to be very thorough with that. They might give you a very simple question, which was staple question in almost every interview that I went to. Like, pick up any one of these projects that you have mentioned on your resume and explain it in detail. So, at least you need to be very thorough with one of the projects, and you would know, depending on what profile you're applying for, which projects that they're going to get focused on. If you're applying in Python profile, so they will be interested in your Python project. So be prepared with that. They might cross question accordingly. So whatever you tell them, they're going to cross question you. If and only if you are thorough with that and you have actually worked on that project, you will be able to answer those questions. So for people who are very thorough with their resume, the interview is very easy. For people who are not thorough with their resume, the interview might get a little bit tough because they won't be able to answer those questions. For technical standpoint, there are multiple rounds for different organizations, depending on which organization you're applying for. For me, I would say I gave at least 2 rounds for each and every organization where I applied in. Some of the organizations might ask for 3rd round, 4th round. Totally depends. Yeah, and it could be possible that difficulty might increase in every single round, but most of the students are interested in how much coding they are going to ask in the interviews, right? So for me, I would say there weren't many online assessments going on. What happened was, during the interview, they will give you a live coding question. They will give you a link, like, go out there, we give you 10-15 minutes and try to solve this problem. And they will be more interested in your problem solving skills. No matter what solution you come up with, you need to be able to explain that. You need to be able to improve that. You need to be able to correct yourself. They just want to see your thought process. So be thorough with that. And the questions are not really that difficult. If you're thorough with your, for example, if you're going for Java interview, you need to be thorough with your Java skills. The questions might be easy to medium level. Maybe some of the organization might ask you little bit tough questions depending on which organization you're applying for, but that generally does not happen. For Java roles, they will give you medium to easy level questions at max, and it could be possible that throughout the interview they don't even ask a coding question. The questions will be related to your resume, related to the technologies that you have worked on. So if you have worked on Spring Boot, you need to be very thorough with Spring Boot. If you have worked on microservices, you need to know what microservices are, what is an API, and don't go very complex. Okay, focus on simple things. Don't go with, okay, I will focus on this B plus trees data structure. No. The question could be as simple as, what is a data structure? So if you are very thorough with these questions, or you know very well about this, you'll be able to answer these simple questions in simple wording. And if you can do that, you will definitely progress in the interviews.
That was a really great explanation. I think you explained everything that we wanted to listen from you.
Yeah, thank you.
And before we end our conversation, I want to ask you one final question about the university, and it's about the fee structure. So when you enrolled for this program, how much did you pay for this program, and how much students can expect?
For an international student, when I applied, the academic fees was 37,000 Canadian dollar. I think if you check it right now, it's increased to 40,000 Canadian dollars for international student. And this is just academic fees. Usually the first semester asks for like 100, little bit more money than other semesters. So maybe first semester you pay for 10,000 Canadian dollars, and the subsequent semesters you might pay 9,500 and whatever. So the point is, first semester might ask for a little bit more money. But you might have to take care of expenses outside of these academic expenses too, your housing and all that. This is not covered in it. So academic wise, this is 40,000 right now. You can check online as well, but you have to be very careful about the things that you have to spend money on financially outside of academic too, like your daily expenditures, your housing and whatnot, because that also counts a lot to, especially to an international student. So yeah.
Well, I guess that's it for our today's talk. Thanks a lot for sharing your valuable experience, explaining us everything about your academic journey, about your co-op journey. Like, we have learned a lot from you. Thanks a lot for that.
Yeah, welcome. Amazing talking to you. I hope these people get something out of it, and maybe we can talk further if we require for some other interview, right?
We are going to make a lot of videos. We will try to make a campus tour of SMU also.
Okay.
And I have a lot of plans to execute.
So a lot of stuff coming up, guys.
So guys, this was this video. I hope you have really liked the video. Please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe the channel. And please make sure to comment down how did you feel about this video, because this will motivate me to bring more amazing people like Manjot on this channel, and we will keep on bringing the student experiences on this channel. Thanks a lot again for watching.